Divine order may show itself in mathematics, in the geometry of energy manifesting into forms on earth. The divine mind is like a butterfly, constantly changing, transforming, and always colorful. What seems like chaos on our planet is really the divine mind at work, way beyond our comprehension. Here are some mandalas, some paintings that expresses the artist's vision of divine mind, divine order. Some highly structured, reflecting the mathematics, the regularity of divine order. Colorful, round, radiant. Here is a picture of nature, the divine order in the natural world, an overlay of colors and phenomenon. The geometry can be quite appealing. There's a regularity in creation that mathematicians understand. Everything is turning, changing, moving. The wind moves mills that grind the food that make our lives. The regularity, the square, the circle, these are the things of the divine mind. The atomic energy, down to the smallest of the small, underneath all that exists. The atom, smaller than the atom, the dot, the I, the perfect one. The circle, infinite, the square, manifest. How can the square embrace the circle? Within the stability of material forms, there is a movement, there is energy. Everything that is was at another time something else. We are all exchanging the atoms, the basic being of life. The star, the cross, it comes up and up again. The contradiction between the freedom of spirit and the earth. This tension between what is permanent, what is eternal, what is changing, heaven and earth. It can be crazy, it can seem random, and yet there is an intelligence to it in the background. It is there behind all events, no matter how chaotic, looking at us, aware, thinking through the experience. This divine mind can be a joker, can have fun. Creation is ebullient, joyful. And creation can hit some high notes, some moments of awe, of mystical wonder, the music of the sphere. There's a regularity in all things, even when we can't see it, and sometimes it is as regular as a checkerboard. But the sun shines through and gives its love to all on the planet regardless, and life abounds. It may seem random, but there is a reason behind it all. Okay, now we're going to do a demonstration of divination. We're going to be working with a tarot deck, and I'm going to be demonstrating a divination process that I call the intuitive heart divination process, or the intuitive heart discovery method, because it helps you discover your own intuitive wisdom about something that you're trying to understand. Now, you'll be involved in learning how to work with the tarot deck, and I have here the Aquarian Tarot because it's one that I've used the most often, although I have many, many different tarot decks because I really do like the pictures. But I'm going to show you a way for you to get acquainted with the tarot in an intuitive manner. Because when you get a tarot deck, you'll usually get a book that goes along with it that explains the meaning of each of the cards and how to do a tarot reading, how to lay out the cards and interpret the different ones. And so as you start to do readings, you'll be referring to your book a lot in order to understand the symbolism. So then there's a lot of, you might say, book learning involved. And that's all well and good in terms of building up your background in symbology and mythology and understanding the archetypal cycles of development, death, and rebirth, and so on. It tends to divert your attention from the intuitive aspect that you bring to a reading. So I want to show you the way that I have my students make an intuitive connection with the cards in a tarot deck. What I've done is I've pulled out the 22 cards from the tarot deck of the major arcana. These are the heavy archetypal cards that are often in a deck numbered by Roman numerals. And what I suggest that you do, as I suggest to all my students, is that you make one card be the card for the day. Now, you don't have to do this every day, but only do one card on a given day. And you form a relationship with that card, an intuitive relationship, and also watch the synchronicities. Now, I'm going to explain this again. We'll go over it. But right now, I'm going to describe the divination process that I'm about to do. First of all, the first step is that I will draw a card from this pile here. And then I'm going to do a divination on this card, not using any tools other than my own self. And what I'm going to do is ask that a memory come forth from my mind, and that this memory will teach me something about how I can relate to this particular card that I've chosen. We'll start out with a preparation, a meditative preparation, getting into the headspace of divine order, like using the breath and the heart that we've already practiced. And then I'll be using a memory divination, in that I have millions and millions of memories, many of them insignificant, most of them in fact. And I'm going to allow a memory to spontaneously come forth into my mind. This would be very much like drawing out a tarot card, or throwing some dice, or other kind of random event, except in this case a random event is going to be the memory that pops into my mind. And then, as we've already discussed in terms of metaphors, and that is in terms of understanding something unknown in terms of something known, which is what divination does and which intuition does, I'll be using something familiar, my memory, to understand something unfamiliar to me, and that is this tarot deck card that I've chosen. So then I will make a lesson from my memory and see what it has to teach me, and then I'll look at the card and I'll say, what is my lesson that I got from my memory? Help me see and understand this card in some very personal kind of way. That will make my personal connection with it. That will give me something that I can draw upon later, as we'll look in the book and see what the book says about the card.